Technical presenting versus an external extension of your soul. I know that sounds pretty dramatic, but let me paint a picture for you. The reason why technical is done so much, it's taught so much by other presenting coaches, it's what we normally see. It's like the cliche, the copy and paste approach that we see on stage. It's normally the go-to way that people approach the craft of presenting on camera and on stage. And there's a reason for that, because it's so freaking simple. It literally is a copy and paste approach. There's a level of artistry to it. There's a level of craft to it, a large level of craft to it, because there's a lot of technical things to learn and to master to do really well. And when we do those technical things very well, we get to this place where you could be classed as world class. There's a place beyond the current definition of world class that I believe exists, in fact I know exists, where there is a level of connection, there is a level of freedom, there is a level of artistry that is far beyond the technical standard approach of presenting. Now, most teachers are teaching it because it's easy to be taught and then pass this information on. But the way that we make a lasting impression on our audience is through the connection. The deeper the connection, the more that the audience have their hearts and minds moved. The deeper connection comes from authenticity. Authenticity is hardly being taught at the level that it's required to be taught, because hardly any presenting teachers truly understand what authenticity means. They will tell you, I want you to be authentic on stage. But as soon as you go out and are trying to be authentic, you're performing. You're indicating to your audience that you're being authentic. You're indicating to your audience that I'm going to be transparent. You're going to see me today. I'm just going to be authentic. I'm going to be honest and straight up with you today. Well, why wouldn't you? There's a small percentage of people who want to see presenting done a different way. They want to connect with their audience on a level that they can only have probably ever imagined, and that most presenters will never experience, because they're not willing to let go of the certainty of the technical being what I already know. They're not willing to let go of the certainty of technical to step into this place of uncertainty, where we use the tool of the heart brain to open up, and we allow something greater. We allow everything and all things to work through us. I call that God, just because it's so freaking dramatic. And I ran out of options of how grand I could go, because it started off with I was a conduit for infinite wisdom. It started off with it was working through me, and I realized it is everything working through me. And that must be God. I'm not religious, by the way. And when God works through us, we are in the moment, we are in flow, we are being, that something far greater is working through us. It's when those sentences and those words leave our lips, and it touches our audience, and it has a more of a resonance to it. It's like our essence is attached to those words. They can see us living, being moment to moment, instead of a technical performance. Technical, where do I stand? How do I manipulate my audience with my body language, with my getting them to put their hands up, getting them to the NLP, the hypnotherapy? It is all manipulation to get people to do stuff beyond their conscious mind. But what if we didn't have to manipulate, because we were able to connect at a level that very few people were able to do on stage or camera? When they were able to see you, when they were able to see and feel you, your presence, They were able to feel the presence, the feeling of God working through you. And remember, I always have to add this. God is only as potent as the tools you supply it with. You see, I use the word it, not he or she. It. Let's be clear on that. Technical is you have learned something, you know where to stand, you know what to do, the future, the past with your hands, you know where to, it's technical. Everybody is doing it. And it's simple. It's very, very basic. It's presenting 101, and you do 101 really well, you become world class. But there's a place beyond world class where presenting becomes a spiritual experience. And I invite people to step into that experience with me. The style of presenting that I wanted to see and feel and experience didn't yet exist, so I had to start creating it myself. There's a level where we can let go storytelling. I know that's crazy. I know. We can let go storytelling. It's a tool. Yeah, it still works, but you don't need a tool to connect or to resonate or to find some kind of common ground with the audience when you're there to be seen. That is authenticity. That's authenticity. When you're working moment to moment and every little nuance and subtlety that is you is available there for the audience to see. And when we create those moments that we are lucky enough to have God work through us, the audience feels and sees that. And there is this connection like no other, and it becomes a spiritual experience. That experience is beyond the imagination of most presenters, and is beyond the vocal capabilities of most presenters. There is a very few percent of people that are thinking there must be more. But if you are thinking there must be more, then it's time for you to hear that there is more. There is definitely 100% more. There is a level to presenting that hardly anyone is scratching the surface of. One, because they don't know how, hardly anyone is teaching it. It has taken me nearly 3 decades, 30 years of obsessive compulsive disorder. That's been kind. Of obsessing over what does just be you mean. What does just be you mean? I've obsessed over that. And when you step into my world, I will pass on how to do that. You will experience a level of presenting that you kind of hoped existed, but you didn't really know how, or perhaps it was too ambiguous for you to really get a feel for it. But once you've felt the style of presenting, you can't go back because your heart knows the difference. It is a level of connection that technical can't create. It is a level of personal expression, true personal expression, that the technical can't create. It is an external manifestation of your true inner world that technical can't create. It is you being able to create significance, a basic human need of which I have to be honest and say I love myself. It is a massive driving force. A level of significance for being truly unique. You get that pat on the back from your audience for being truly unique. Now we can dress it up like most people do and say that when I'm on stage or when I'm working, I do this for the greater good to serve, which is a load of shit. Think about it. We don't do it just to serve. I don't get on stage just to go, I'm about to go serve these 100 people. I don't fly to the other side of the world to serve. I flew to the other side of the world to showcase how fucking good I am on stage and receive that feeling of significance afterwards. The byproduct is serving. The byproduct is sales. The byproduct is people being able to see a different style, and for a percentage of those people to have a desire to want to feel that way themselves. Because when you are able to feel that impact on people's hearts and minds, you cannot go back to technical. Because technical is as boring as batshit, trust me. So if you're technically really damn good right now, you might even be world class. It is time to step into that place beyond world class and become truly fucking special. There is a place beyond the current state of world class where we get to redefine what that means. A new kind of world class, where you create a lasting impression on your audience by them seeing an external manifestation of your true inner world. And they will never forget that, and either will you.